Good morning. We are recording. This is episode 17, maybe, of Heartbreak and Hope, where Reverend Sabrina and I share the things that are breaking our hearts and the things that are bringing us hope and invite you to join us in that practice. Our opening words come from Glitter Blessed, already whole, already holy. It is blessings for queer and trans lives here in this month of Pride. And so this reading is called When the Dam Breaks, Let It Be Glitter by Jess Martinez Hunt. When the breaking point comes, may it arrive without apology, bursting through every careful wall you stacked brick by brick to prove you can finally stop guarding the flood. May the rush be spectacular. May it sparkle with all the pieces you no longer need to carry. The too small expectations, the worn out disguises, the heavy shoulds you kept out of duty. Let them all go shimmering downstream. May the collapse feel like baptism, an immersion into honesty, a plunge into the wide river of being, a holy soaking in your own aliveness. And when you come up dripping, may you also shake with laughter. May you know this breaking is not the end of you. It is permission to begin again, glittering, saturated, free. And when the waters settle, may you find yourself held by love itself. Steady, outrageous, unrelenting love, shimmering forward again and again and again.
Amen. I'm all right. World's on fire, but I made gelato.
When it's hot outside?
Right. I could be wrong, but I think Jess is the one that made this t-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. So what's breaking your heart today?
The too muchness of everything. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I know other folks are feeling overwhelmed and I'm quite confident that that is intentional, that when people feel overwhelmed, they don't have the capacity to question, to protest, to create art, to say no. They just, well, I know that the way that I respond to overwhelm is head down, get through it. And so trying to figure out the way forward and to do something different while at the same time meeting all of the expectations and deadlines around me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was thinking when you were reading the opening words that what happens when we don't notice that the dam is already broken? Like what happens that I've been thinking about this because there's a lot of old trees in my neighborhood that belong to people that haven't cut them down yet, and some of them are quite large. And so that's like a metaphor for it's a beautiful old tree and it's dead and it squeaks when you pass underneath it. And so in our nightly walk, my family and I just cross the street, right? Like, because we think, or I think, and I think I've convinced them, that it's a little bit dangerous. And I understand the tension between not wanting this, the too muchness, the dam breaking, and and how it's barren after you take out a tree that is like several feet around.
Mm-hmm.
But trees have a finite life. So what does that have to do with the dam breaking? It's that sometimes you find yourself having been with this habit, with this life, with this continual barrage of like stuff, and you don't notice that the things are deteriorating in front of your eyes. So that's kind of heartbreaking and thought provoking a little bit. And I hope the tree doesn't fall today when it's going to be windy. But yeah, that's what's, I don't know if it's heartbreak per se, but it's sort of like a human condition to not notice until you're in it. You're in this. Yeah. Yeah.
The interesting thing about a tree having a finite life is that even those great big giant glorious trees, we feel sad when they go,
Mm-hmm.
but they also open up space for so much new life.
And so it's both. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
and what's your hope?
I really enjoyed writing last week's sermon on multiple levels. Not only was it creative and fun, uh, so back in April, I asked everybody to write love letters to the future, and those love letters were things we could do now to create a better future, to leave a better future for those who come after us. And I didn't know what to expect from what people wrote. And going through and reading everybody's suggestions, I was so grateful that y'all are my people, that you are the folks I get to work with. It was really just inspiring and heartwarming. And yeah, it, it really touched me, all the things and ways of being that our folks want for ourselves and for the future. And putting that together was a lot of fun. And the thing that really brought me hope was, you know, going and finding examples of everything that people wanted to do or suggested, and finding that somewhere in the world somebody was already doing each of those things. And some of them were really amazing. Like somebody suggested that we that we get rid of highways. And so I found a nonprofit that is literally getting rid of highways, and they have successfully gotten rid of highways in some cities where they've identified specific highways that aren't serving a function, and basically decommissioned them and then did other things with the land. Like this wasn't a dream. This is something that they've actually done multiple times in multiple places, decommissioning highways. And or somebody suggested a skyscraper with hydroponic farms. And yes, in 2021 there was a conceptual design created for a skyrise, a high rise in a skyscraper in China. But that kind of stuff is happening now. There is an article from March, a news story in Chicago, where this farm, this hydroponic farm, is growing vegetables in downtown Chicago in an old office building.
Yeah. And like the Green Roof Initiative has been around for a long time. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to see that that could be combined with growing food,
Mm-hmm.
which is the thing that I always think that we don't know how suddenly we can change. I was thinking this when I was listening to your sermon on Sunday and to the reading, the poem,
Mm-hmm.
that there is the spark of something that you can't even imagine. Or if you imagine, then there is a way to get to it, right? Like, and that is totally a counteract to the the too muchness. Because when you're in too muchness mindset, you can't see anything. You think that's what I was thinking. You know how you think this is, you get permanence of object. This is where I am, like cats. This is where I am. This is what's always going to go on.
Yeah.
And then you lift your head and you're like, no, wait, there is other things that are possible. And those are the things that you're talking about and how rapidly things can and do change when these sparks, it's like the glitter dam, right? Like in the positive, right? Not in
The positive, yeah. Because when the glitter dam breaks, glitter goes everywhere. In the
exact
positive.
in the positive, because yeah, we can't have glitter in the sanctuary. Just a
No.
reminder for everybody out there. Um,
And what about you? Where are you finding hope?
for everybody out there. Um,
And what about you? Where are you finding hope?
well, yesterday I watched the football match between Iran and New Zealand, and I was thinking of the burden that these Iranian players were carrying,
Oh.
showing up in LA while America is bombing them, um, and not losing heart. It was a great match, first of all, like from the entertainment standpoint. It was very well balanced. I really liked it. Um, but also how hope exists in these folks that play the game. Even though sometimes they were being booed. I don't know, like I couldn't tell if it was cheers or boos sometimes. But like I know that it was cheers when they scored, but they came from behind for like they tied the game, but it's not a tie. It's like resilience, right? Like they New Zealand scored right away at the beginning of the match, and I know this because Italy is not in the World Cup, and I'm kind of embarrassed for my home country, and
I mean, Curacao made it.
I know. And there's more teams of this year than there've ever been, and I don't know what happened. I don't even want to look into what happened, but like one of the things that happens to Italy, and the reason why they lose oftentimes is that if somebody scores early, like France totally knows this about it, they just shut down.
No, they just
They
get demoralized.
they get demoralized.
Oh,
Iran had a moment of confusion. I know I'm getting into the soccer of it all, but like
Mo's loving it. Mo's right there with you.
that there's like they had a moment of confusion and then they came back.
Mm,
You don't see a lot of teams doing this, and
mm.
that is great. I was, hoping they would win because that means a thing, but like this, and then they had to go back, and they, to get into the US was a problem. To go back to Mexico where they're staying, it's a problem. They're going to have to play all these games and come to America all the time. And what does that do to, to your psyche? And so it's like it's impossible not to cheer for them, and it's impossible to not praise their resilience in the face of all these adversities. There is no comparison for that, because the World Cup, when it was in Germany during the Nazis, wasn't during World War II. So there's no direct comparison to that. So that's it.
Three cheers for resiliency and coming back from behind. Yeah. You have some closing words for us?
Yeah, I have this card deck, which is called Sacred Incantations. It's by a group called Enfleshed, and it's rituals of trans wisdom for every season. And there is a lot of seasons. There's 4 seasons: germinating, rooting, blooming, and decaying. And I chose blooming because it's pride, and because I got my eyes caught this: may we make a holy mess of respectability politics. And this is because the context is dominant systems of many kinds work on us day in, day out, pushing us to conform to social expectations and dominant norms in order to deserve our freedom, flourishing, rights, or respect. It takes practice to resist these internal and external forces that are barriers to deep, messy, wondrous, honest authenticity, internally, relationally, and politically. And then there's always a ritual. And in this case, the ritual is to work on yourself, saying no to something that you fall into. Ooh. Like things that you don't wear, implicit or explicit, that you submit to. And this is not just for trans people. Respectability politics is for all kinds of people. And so they say, come up with 10 different ways to practice exercising your refusal of respectability politics. So I offer that as an exercise for the week. And because it's Pride, and there is a lot of discussion at Pride of respectability politics, and let the glitter flood come.
Let the glitter flood come. All right. Thanks. Be well. See you in a week.
Bye.